Hello, this is the showcase and demo for my Chatroom system. This was a Java project that was my final for my computer networks course all the way back in spring 2024. So the purpose of this project is to create a chat room that multiple clients can connect to and use that chat room to converse with each other. So right now I have the project open on 3 different instances of BlueJ. This is because the first one is going to run the chat room server, and the other 2 are going to represent different clients connecting to the chat room. So to start the server, you just have to find the IM multi-server file and then run main. It's going to need a parameter, the port that you want to host the server on, and let's just use 55555. So now the server is running and we can connect to it via one of our clients. So to do so, you just have to find the Chatroom client app and run main on it. And you have to put in a few parameters. The first is the name of the host. Normally you would put in the IP address, but because we're running it all on the same machine, we can just put in localhost. Next is going to be the port, so it's going to be 55555. And whatever name you want to use in the chat room itself. So we're just going to put user1. So that opens a few things. So on the left here, it just opens, this is from the server. So this is going to be just the full chat room history. It also opens this little application here, which is going to be the actual client itself. So this is what the user1 sees. And they are able to send messages to the chat room. So we can just put in, hello, I am here. And you can see that the server hosts this information. User1 is sending, hello, I am here. And we see that reflected into the client as well. So, I actually want to put in something here. So let's just have user1 say something about user2. So just say user2 is stinky. Why not? So when user2 joins the chat room, we just have to do the same thing. Localhost 5555 and user2. They actually do not see that message. They join the chat room and they don't see any of the messages prior. So this emulates how, this is a feature I included on purpose because I do not want the ability for everyone to see everything. I want it to work as a chat room. You can only see messages after you joined. But you also may have noticed something, and that is that we see that the client has joined the chat room here, and that's the latest message in the server. Like I said, user2 doesn't get access to any of these prior messages. But why isn't it working on, why isn't this message populating on user1's client? So it will, it just happens only after we send a message. So what's going on here? So pretty much each of these objects has its own version of the chat history. And whenever a message is sent, let's just send a message on from user2, just like, hello, I am here. Here I am user2. What happens is that the chat history is compared to the true history that's hosted on the server, and all of the remaining messages are sent over there. So why this happens is because of how our systems and protocols work. So I can actually bring up my design document from when this happened. So basically, each client communicates with the server via a thread, and that thread basically establishes the link between the chat log of the client and the chat room of the true server chat history. So the problem is when you're using just one thread, it's hard to ask for information and be able to send information at the same time. If it didn't work the way it currently works now, I'd have to have it wait and like have each user take their turn sending a message. Like you can't send a message twice. You have to wait for the next user to send their message before you're able to send yours. And that's not really a chat room at that point. It's just a weird taking turns texting each other thing. So in order to get like a real-time chat room working, I'd have to set up a system with 2 threads. Like if I were to do the project over again now, I'd set up 2 threads and have different protocols for communicating that. Thread 1 is used for just sending messages to the chat room, and thread 2 is for sending the latest chat history to all of the clients at fixed intervals. Now, none of that was covered in the course, and I didn't have enough time to research how to do that and implement that for my final project, so I just kind of had to make do with a non-real-time system. It still, like, works, just not in real time. So, like, messages get sent over, and you can see that that happens in real time, like, on the server's end, but, like, yeah, here, you only get all those messages after new information is sent in the client. Now, the last thing that I incorporated here is just that you're able to disconnect from the chat room. It says your name when you disconnect. And yeah, it gives you a little disconnect message as well. So yeah, that's just how the project works at the moment. I'll revisit it when I have time just to make things better in real time. But for now, that's just it. All right, thank you for your time.